Hey everyone, so happy to see you. And Barry, I am always happy to see you. And I am wondering, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great today. Things are going pretty well, and it's a beautiful day, and I'm feeling great.
So, feelings are really interesting. Some of them are really obvious. There's so many different ones, and some of them, like happy and sad, are pretty common. Others are not as common, like maybe surprised or frustrated, right? That's a kind of feeling mad, frustrated. And I don't know, Barry, can you show me some feelings? Can you show me surprised? Okay, how about scared? Perfect. Um, so when you recognize your own feelings, right, and are paying attention to how you feel, that is really helpful for recognizing what someone else might be feeling. And trying to understand how someone else is feeling is called empathy. And you could even say that word with me if you want, empathy. And um, I have a good example for you about empathy. So I want you to think about a time that maybe one of your friends or maybe your brother or your sister, but someone got hurt, right? And how did you feel when that other person got hurt? Did you think about maybe a time that you got hurt and were wondering if they were feeling the same way? Did you think about what you wanted to do? Like, is there something I can do to help? Did you think about how you want to take care of that person? When you're having all of those thoughts, that is a form of empathy. And there's actually a saying that goes with this. Barry, what saying do we often hear about empathy?
Well, there's a Native American saying that says, "Don't judge another until you have walked 2 moons in his moccasins." And the way that we say that now is, "Don't judge somebody else unless you've walked a mile in their shoes." And I think what that means is you've got to put yourself in that other person's position and not assume that you know how they're feeling unless you listen to them, right? And I think that empathy a lot is kind of putting yourself in the other person's shoes and trying to understand what they're going through. You can't know completely what they're going through, but when you listen, you can get closer. And I think that's a lot of what empathy is about. It's either that I understand the way that you feel because something similar has happened to me, or it could be that I don't totally understand how you feel, because I've never had an experience like that, but I'm listening and I'm trying to understand. And I think that's a lot of what empathy is right there. It's just a willingness on our part to listen and understand what someone else is going through.
I agree with you. So, another interesting thing about our feelings is so much of them are right here, right where our heart is, right? Both really good feelings that we can feel in our heart, and actually, when not so great things happen, we also feel that in our heart. So, if you think about some not so great things, I actually have my heart right here. And, when someone says something mean, or something really hurtful happens, or something that somebody else does that really affected us, unkind words, bullying, I don't know, all of those different kinds of things that happen when we're not listening and trying to understand someone else, they leave a mark right on your heart. See all those wrinkles from all of those things that happen? And using empathy, one, I think you're more likely when you're trying to understand how someone else is feeling, you're not going to use unkind words or do something hurtful, right? You're going to choose to treat someone differently. And then you're also going to try and understand that something may have happened to them, that they have those wrinkles on their heart. And you just want to listen and try and understand, like Barry just said. So that is another example of empathy. And empathy also kind of has something to do with peace. What does it have to do with peace, Barry?
Well, I think the peace begins with each one of us individually, right? We look at, we want to have peace in the world. We want to be peaceful. And I think it begins with each one of us taking responsibility for the way that we treat each other. And I think when we treat each other with empathy, we make the world more peaceful. We make our homes more peaceful. And that's where everything starts. The way that we get along with our parents, the way that we get along with our brothers and sisters, and the way we get along with people in school. That's where we learn to be peaceful, by understanding what other people are going through. And so, yeah, I think that that idea of taking responsibility for my part in the world, and the part that I bring by being peaceful and by being empathetic, is where it all begins.
All right. We have an affirmation for you today. Our affirmation is, I think about how others feel. I think about how others feel. All right. We know that you are practicing empathy and doing a great job of trying to listen and understand how others are feeling. All right, everybody. So long.
Bye bye.